60秒到达战场，碾碎他们。全军出击！
Alright, folks. Hello. One Initialise here. The takeover. Alex will not be here today, sadly. He is, in fact, doing the LEC meeting thing. And therefore, you have to deal with me. Where are we at, folks? How's life been? See, we're actually pretty deep into game one here. LGD in a bit of a weird old spot versus LNG. And hello, everybody. Boo. Scared yourself. Hello, Onivia's chat. Hello, YouTube chat. Glad to have you over here. Hoping we're all live in various locations and life is good. But I will just double check and make sure we're not missing anything here on the off chance. But yes, hello then. Good to see you all. I think I also therefore need to turn up this media source just a little bit. Zoom, boom, boom, boom. Bit more like it. Give us a heads up on where volumes are at, guys. And we'll play around with this. How's the lesson? Pretty good. I wasn't speaking too much today because I'm a bit ill and my voice is a bit off, but I can't leave you guys without a caster, so I'm here. It might be a little low energy because, as you can hear, my voice is a bit scratchy. I've got some recording to do as well. It might be very, very slightly too loud. Copy that. Something like that. Give us a heads up where things are at. But yeah, it was pretty good. What were we doing today? Based about what food you like and how to order food and drinks and all those things. Ich mag gern eine Kaffee, bitte. And all these things. Okay. A little bit one of those anti-con withdrawals off. LGD. Bit of an odd spot here. Do lose that one withdrawal. Of course, the Silas doesn't have the TP, but that's a great bullet time. Does manage to get away there. Mr. Satoru in the jungle gets away. So, of course, I believe, at least according to Iris, I'll go find the notes she sent me. But 5T5 is a particular name, but LGD onto the Baron. But yep, basically named Gojo. It's Wu Chao Wu is how it's supposed to be pronounced. Which is kind of a shortening of Satoru Goju. Of course, very famous. Ooh, goodbye microphone. What are you doing that? Sunk about 2 meters. Try that again, shall we? Well, LNG gonna head over towards that dragon. They are up 1,000 gold or so. And their rumble, oh my days, Zucker. Very, very strong right now. High chart on his ear. Waste so much time on Baron there? Yeah, kind of did a bit. Kind of did a bit. So what happened to LP? He just face checks. Yeah, Silas does Silas-y things. Auto Wu is there. Oops. 50-50 was told, but it was corrected by one of the prominent translators of the LPL stuff on Twitter, being short for anime. Exactly, it's Gojo Satoru, what it's short for. Wu Tao Wu is what it is. It's a short form of Gojo Satoru. Exactly. Who you may know as the guy who does the domain expansion-y thing that various people were vaguely obsessed over for a little while. 50-50 is pretty good. It is. We'll see what he wants in the long run. But worth noting at the very least. And his name is effectively shorthand for Gojo Satoru. Shout out to Iris, who I got that one from, but there was some stuff on Twitter. If meant. Gonna go for the engage, dropped back his 5T5, but Ucha will not be expanding any domains right now. Gwen gets another, and Sassy is now going to be in a very scary spot. Oh boy, that Gwen's online, isn't she? Jaw goes on forwards with the grand entrance. Gorge is a famous snack bar that can be split in half or so. But I might be that one too. But yep, at least as far as I can tell, it's very similar, Hansi, as the what's it called? As Gojo Satoru, which is where it's from. What a bullet time, actually. Xiaoya just stands and delivers even on the equalizer and just doesn't give a damn, does he? Nice work. YCX even gets to mount up and run away. Dong, by all means you can be annoyed that someone's not playing well, but let's save the random personal insults. Just as a request, you will get banned. So avoid it. If you can't contain it, probably don't say anything. You had your way. No more. Thank you, Trinity. Already been a sort of mini turn at 15 minutes. Yeah, I can see it. Man, this MF and Silas and Gwen are all in a very good position. I mean, High Child's not got Zonya's yet, which kind of sucks. The Corki has got 2 items, but is really struggling to find value at this point. I mean, unless Zucker does wonders on this Rumble, which he can do, in fairness, I think things get tricky. Well, there we go, LP. Gonna try and run away best he can, but oh my days, the needles come flying everywhere, don't they? The Impale afterwards, down goes Shinsao. Gojo is once again out for the count. That's looking like latter stages of Jujutsu Kaisen. He is a shell of his forms. So you're telling me Lost Returns can't beat LGD and LNG? I think they could probably beat these 2 teams, to be fair. I think that would be a very doable thing. But I'd be interested to see, I would be interested to see some scrims against higher end teams. I think Lost Returns have got more to work on than I think people think they do. It's a great bullet time angle. W mods, hell yeah. Mega mind control tactics by Xiaoya a little bit. He's getting away with it. Has had 1 or 2 interesting team fights over his career in the LPL. Also good to see you out there. The advantage of being half a day ahead. Hell yeah. I'm always quicker. Wait. Zucker needs to get off this team. He's playing too good for them. He's trying, isn't he? He's trying. Unfortunately, I think he's the one remaining player with decent caliber on the team right now. There goes the Baron. LNG get that one. That could be a big moment. They're going to go jumping on forwards, but Silas now got an option. His Wu Tao Wu left in a bit of a tricky spot. Will knock one away, but now LGD are kind of on the wrong side of the map relative to their opponent. Cancel to retreat. Going to try and shove through mid and get that wave cleared. At the very least are LNG. Looking for the engage. Jaw won't quite find it. Nice crash down into the bullet time punish on Jaw. Now Nayo's looking dry as Wu Tao Wu further forward. High tries looking for a shuffle and dies doing it. As Xiaoyu just gets to stand an auto. Oh my days, this MF is so damn strong right now. The Magnet Storm to interrupt more things happening. Great play from LGD there. Sure, I think they're going to be winning this first game, aren't they? LNG, are they the worst team in the league? They might be, you know, guys. They might be. You never seen a bigger fall off than Wei Wei? It's pretty categorically bad, I agree you, Ant-Dog. Like Wei Wei's fall off has to be studied. It was genuinely exceptionally poor. Like, I was shocked by how bad it was. And now, potentially for Nayo. Oh. Olaf, I got up at the right time? Oh, yeah, you did. Oh! But I do think that one item spike is going to be very hard to manage for the side of LNG. We'll head on to the Rift. Let the crowds take over for a moment. There you go. Interested they have LNG spiking a little bit earlier there. I guess the Varus Nautilus with that Viego. Even the Scion at one item could be a bit annoying for LGD. In fairness, with your Rise and Olaf, you do tend to want to hit that kind of 1 to 2 item marks there if you can before you really pop off. I personally quite like what LGD have got to work with in these, the 1 item mark. Varus gone for the Hail of Blade, so we'll have a little bit more ability to get an auto or 2 out before turning around. Will still be likely that poke option, but wants some more ability to actually throw some autos out and not be just purely reliant on the skill shots for the poke damage. Okay, nice little chunk bot side. Jaw. Forced away from the wave, level 1. YCX straight back into LP, but there's the Hail of Arrows, level 2. Being fought full flash for the staggering blows. Jaw now gets the Ignite down. Xiaoyu now in danger himself. Has to cleanse, but he cleansed late. Rather early to get rid of the staggering blows. The Ignite gets full value. Great trade there from Jaw to get serious value in the lane. Costs an extra summoner from Jaw. Will force the reset. YCX debating. Ah, Xiaoyu. Piercing arrow will deny that. That's a rough level 1 now. So, hang on. Flash on forward for a root. And Wu is just dead. Whoa, 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 whoa. That was an unfortunate look. SQW with a really solid flash on him. And where is Nymaera? Yeah, he's at LEC meetings today. He'll be casting this weekend. I believe he's with Medic. Should be a good time. Bisto. Oh, the socials graphics is hidden. Thank you. Good morning. I turned it off for draft. I forgot to put it back on. Thank you very much. Back on and available. Lol, wrecked. Yeah, that was my worry, right? Like, this Olaf has got a bit of a linchpin angle. I really like it. I think Nayo, who is a bit of a... He is one of those LDL voracious junglers who loves to play with an advantage for an advantage. He was, much like Junhao, an AD Bruiser player. He is a great Lee Sin. Probably him and Junhao were our two best Lee Sin players alongside Milky Way in the LDL of the last little while. And things like the Olaf really fit into that. And I think he's got a good game here to really make Wu Tao Wu's life a bit tricky. No, Mary, when are we going to get ranked ARAM? That could be fun, you know. I mean, the Clash is... We had ARAM Clash occasionally, didn't we? That's about it. I miss seeing a Thresh Lantern gang teams used to have sick engagement with tools like that. Yeah, I know. Thresh has really fallen away. Basically, they put so much of his power into his Lantern. It kind of means the rest of his kit feels a bit sad, and he's just not tanky. Stepping forward and missing a hook is an inverse death sentence in the mid game. Onto the grubs we go. Olaf does the Olafy thing, swinging recklessly, toughing it out, and throwing some undertows. Hey, Judge Peanut, good to see you. Yeah, at times you have an anonymous LDL jungler coming to LPL and killing it. I remember Bo. Yeah, basically that. He's in that kind of vein of things. I think Nayo had a really rough debut, in part because he was on top esports challenges, who were just really, really, really good in the early game. They had Jachi and Niket, who have you now seen them reunited in the LPL, and they are psychopaths. They play the Dravens, they play the Samiras, they play the Neelas, with your Rels and Nautiluses and Kalista and Nico lanes, and you go all in, and you play around it. Xiaoye is a Draven player too, of course he is another one of those LDL call-ups. And Nayo came up to the LPL, and suddenly he didn't have these aggressive, perma-skirmishing pressure lanes to run around where his team were the best laners in the league. On the whole. And so he didn't have those pressure lanes, skirmishing, volatile lanes to really sink his teeth into as a jungler. And he had to play from behind. He had to play defensively. He had lanes that were not as aggressive and mechanically dominant and with priority. And he was nowhere near as good as that. There's a bit of a should element to it. Whereas someone like Milky Way, for example, when he came up, I had a little bit more faith in him because he used to playing with lanes that wouldn't always. Where teammates who wouldn't always mechanically dominate their opposition, and he'd still find ways to be useful and valuable. He had people like XEZ in mid lane who would play Rumble and Gallia to get shoved to come play around the jungle with him. My problem with that is, with ARAM, is people scared to die. Yeah. I'm not a particularly good ARAM player because I play like a psychopath. I went 20 and 19 doing 64,000 damage on Rumble the last time I played an ARAM. In 22 minutes. So we had about 3k damage a minute just by going all in every time I was back up and alive. It was great. Didn't quite get a Zhonya's on a good time, that's all I'll say. Here we go, bit of a flash away. As they saw Nio coming on up. Good lead for LP in the bot side right now. That's basically off that level 1 shenaniganery that occurred. Hydro? We'll avoid the overload. Riot needs to start planning balance. What do you mean by that? Am I seeing an Olaf jungle in 2025? Yes, you are. R5 Olaf. And I think when you've got a comp that wants to brawl and skirmish with you, every single member from LGD gets stuck in. Olaf is pretty good against a lot of the anti-dive tools here, because your Ragnarok ignores all of the CC, all of the zone control and area denial that LNG would love to use. And Olaf isn't going in alone. Doesn't have an enchanter behind him. But I think when you've got everyone else coming on over, it'd be very, very scary. We had Dragon traded for Grubs. Dragon number 2 is up. LGD look like they might want to play around that Dragon, which makes some sense. Although 6 Grubs would also be fairly valuable here. Ryze and Ambassador, pretty good in those side lanes. Hang on, there goes Viego. XQW phase rushes away. He's alright. Just not the Roa Ori from yesterday. Yeah. Like, it works on Ryze. He really values a lot of those stats. But the Oriana, Seraphs or Roa, don't do both. For the love of God. So we'll be strong with 2 weak dragons first. I mean, Ocean Dragon early first dragon is actually really nice because the health regen and mana regen can be very valuable. But at this point of the game means a lot less. What are we at? Cloud Dragon? Oh man, Cloud for Olaf, Nico, and Bessa, all really, really good. Fate's Call burns. Nothing really to fight for, so you're alright with that. And you get both both of those neutral objectives. That's the feat of strength for objectives done for LGD. Very nice. Well, not feat of strength, but they get the objective marker for it. On a... Ooh, good flash, YCX. Flash to flash. And the heal too. Sion Viego are good with Cloud Soul too, don't get me wrong. But I think Ambessa, even Ryze, and Olaf feel very good with Cloud Soul. Olaf's going to be one of the best Cloud Soul abusers in the game. Hell, move speed differential in general this game for LGD would feel really good. And LNG are looking at these Cloud Dragons and going, oh god, can't give those up for free. There's a pink Brolaf behind you. But did you notice the dancing Brolaf? Well then. Is the Olaf ult a set duration, or am I doing it extended when you get a kill assist? I don't think it's kill assist. It's basically as long as you are fighting. I think is the way it works. Let me look at the exact wording. Olaf. Lol. Olaf is a champion in League of Legends, so it says. What a shot. Where are you? Ragnarok. Ragnarok's duration is increased by up to 2.5 seconds for each basic attack or cast of Reckless Swing against enemy champions. So it's Reckless Swing, which is his auto reset, and auto attack. So not the axes, important that you're throwing. It is basic attacks. You need to be actually hitting people with your autos effectively. So Viego, hey, watch, I hope LNG lose. What's your problem with Viego, Ruby? I have a question about Sums economy. Would this be a time when I look for an option opponent Sums to the next objective? Yeah, probably not bad. So the thing is when are you burning your cooldowns versus? If you're burning an ultimate cooldown, say 2 minutes, 1 minute, 1.5 minutes before an objective, for flashes in particular, now is a pretty good time for it. Because your ults will be back off cooldown before the objective spawns, which is fairly significant. And if at this point, say, LP or Haicha are down a flash, as Naya was burned a Ragnarok or whatever, you go, okay, that was pretty good. Reckless Swing is Izzy. Indeed it is. It's the auto. W's tough it up. Q is Undertow. I can't remember what Olaf's passive is. Do more damage at lower health. Berserker Rage. That's the one it is. Here we go, bit of an engage. YCX with the pop blossom, Realm Warp in. Joy's just dead. Great combo. Overcomes Zucker. Flash away from SQW to not get slammed by that unstoppable onslaught. And we go over towards the Herald with a nice pickup. That is secured by Xiaoye's Callista. More attack speed than low HP you have indeed. Attack speed and lifesteal. So, yeah, if you start burning an ultimate, say, a minute before an objective, it can be a bit sucky, if it's too early in the game, because, like, I've blown Evelyn ultimate. It's on a 2-minute cooldown. The dragon spawns in 30 seconds. I no longer have ultimate to either smite secure an objective or kill someone. Well, that's problematic. Oh, and lifesteal, yeah, it's 70%. I think it's just at 70% or, like, it's below a certain point he gets lifesteal. He only gets the lifesteal below a certain HP threshold. 70%, that's right. Well, on towards this tier 2 he goes. LGD continue the snowball very aggressively here. Jor gonna get hit up by Sarsi, who does get out of the way of the chains of corruption and the dredge line with the flash. Good work. Y6 burns the hill, but they get that tier 2 top side. LGD snowballing very cleanly here, all things said and done. They get themselves a feat of strength with that first turret. They get the Herald charge on the tier 2 as well. You can't really ask for too much more here. They've got 3 turrets in this early game. Get my man Zucker a team. Yeah, let's have a look again. So, YCX runs at people, pretending he's Olaf, but he's actually Nico. Very astute choice of transformation. The Realm Warp to bring the rest of the Goon Squad in. Costs you but a flash on XQW, and you're pretty happy with that. It's... Did I say that? Montes, what did I say? And boy, zoom. So many flashes. That pop loss, it was nearly genius. But alas. I know not what I said in the heat of the moment. Muted and reported. Apparently so. Well, LGD should better go claim another turret on this side here. Sassy should have that one, no problem. Goon squad. Oh! Yeah, the goon squad. Bestow. Hey, I also did 69 points. Nice. Nice. Elgada. Well then, there goes the dragon. No real contest from LNG. Towards the mid lane they're coming. Sassy will clear that one out with some Drakehound steps, some cunning swipes, and some Sundering Slams, and some lacerates. I will say, I sometimes, in the heat of the moment, confuse lacerate and cunning swipes. They look quite similar. So the lacerate's the full circle, the cunning swipes are the semi-circle. What an exciting game too, right? So much action. I mean, kind of. In fairness to LGD, they've been quite proactive. I just think LNG have not really been wanting to fight them, which is fair enough, but my worry is that, like, the scaling is good for LNG in some regards. Like, the Victor, the Viego to an extent, the Scion do scale well, but I'm looking at a Rise, I'm looking at even the Olaf at 2 items is Ambessa, that, like, they are very, very strong right now. And there's a real world where you just don't get to a point where it's really all that much valuable. There's Zucker ulting, but Sassy with the public execution's already going to kind of body block it. SQW flashes on over, and this will also be a problem. Like, your ability to just dive real deep with Realm Warps and flashes and public executions and Fate's Calls makes it very hard for LNG to play the game the way they want to, scaling or not. On paper, SQW with the stopwatch, and that's burning out so much in trade. Flashes away again. YCX will back away. Another flash blown from Haichao to keep out of that one. Fate's Call burn, flashing for an undertow. Damage now onto Haichao. He's got nowhere to run! The reckless swings will bring down the Victor, the Herald of the Arcane. Will at least get one back onto the jungler, but the overloads keep flying. There's so many stacks to draw. A Pierce afterwards, and they burn everyone down. What a glorious fight from LGD. You were asking for action, Broder Bill. There it is. And we zoom. So this is where they start contesting in mid lane, right? And then basically, Fate's Call, flash for the undertow means that Hai Chao basically gets dropped. And then the Olaf starts running at people. LP and Wu Ta Wu flash away. And as a result, the Olaf does die, but you burn both your flashes now. And they're on the wrong side of the map with no HP to work with. So Chariot, flash pierce for one. Rens for the other. Head over towards this Atakan. This was a really astute Olaf angle. It was. And the Rise and the Callista also going to play out the game very, very well. Because again, it's not just Callista you have to be afraid of. There are, what? 4 other skirmishes if you count the Nico in there as well. Gunnar equals an Arsenal fan. It's also true. I am an Arsenal. Make that what you will. Well, into the base we go. That's a decent amount of stun onto Sassy, but he's got a GA. And then with that withdrawal, they'll keep going giga deep. Now they have Zeka trying to clear out these waves. They've got Baron as well. They'll get rid of another withdrawal too, but Sassy can just TP back in. And you've already killed off 2 extra members. It's at least another inhibitor. And I think that's going to try and end the game. Xiaoye is absolutely unbothered. Hopping forward, gets another. The Rensets are in. Welcome to the worst acupuncture session known to man. Between Callista and Gwen, the game has never seen more needles stuck in people. LGD find themselves a pretty clean 2-0 LNG. Shell-shocked that game around. Lane pressure bot side to play around it from that point. Ooh, we are a bit noisy, aren't we? I love this song, but it is quite loud. WE, very defensive here. Skarner and Galio to try and keep your Azir and Ezreal alive. The Nico's a bit of go forward as well. It could be a good homing beacon for your Galio, as can the Skarner. But you're trying to play with your range advantage here into TES, who are a lot more all-in, a lot more melee range. This will be an interesting one, because I think TES... This Lilia, not for my... Oh, there's our volume. WE still got a huge fan base out in the LPL and top esports. For all they've been a little humbled, I think it's fair to say, on the international stage. We'll be looking to right their wrongs here, live on stage. So, WE, early on, a little bit more value as top esports. I think later on, the fact that you've got that slight more damage scaling with the Yone and the Lilia will begin to outvalue as we go on. Of course, we've got Cube on that Galio into the Rumble. It's been a standard matchup, even if it's fallen away a little bit. Did I update this? I think I did, but I'll double check. So, Navi starting on Raptors. We'll turn that into Krugs, then the red buff. Smites early. Helps clear out those Krugs a little faster. Puts it on cooldown, a good timer. And then rapidly do that red buff and look potentially for a gank through mid lane or an invade onto the blue side jungle. Does feel like a lot of junglers are now doing this path. Keeps your red buff up a bit longer, a bit safer on invades. Puts you in a much more flexible position in terms of affecting lanes too, rather than being stuck on another camp somewhere. Cream. Eating a bit of damage there to Karis, as it often does happen. The range versus melee discrepancy is a thing. Karis has been an interesting player. Of course, coming up from the LCK. Doing his level best to be useful. Jump away from Jackie. Needs to stay alive. The upheaval not going to come on through. Body bot like Crisp with the flash out. They stay alive. But again, Summon has blown Vampire down both of his. But top esports, that bot lane weakness we have talked about being early jungle attention, puts them under the microscope a little bit. Navi already claiming his whole quadrant, looking to invade here onto the blue buff. Going to try and fight Monkey here. This will be interesting. Level 4 versus level 4. Vampire's coming, so is Cream. Gets the root with the Tangle Bombs, gets rid of the Blast Cone. Means Kanavi now in danger. Gets the Conqueror stacking to turn around with that Watch Out E. Flash on forwards, looking to get some damage down. The burn will surely be enough. Cream gets that, flashes on over. But that's now left him in danger, and it's way too eager. The bot lane can't join. And TES give up too. That was an interesting choice. We're going to come back and claim this wave as well. There'll have to be a reset, so in fairness, we'll lose a bit of the wave here, but Jackie was already down half a wave. What? Okay, so okay, Monkey sticks around to do the Scuttle Crab and they think, okay, we've got pressure in mid. We can go play for this. But they don't have it bot, so it ends up being a 4v2. Cream yells a bit. Pulls back away. Rebinds the soul. Now, a little bit of a move around to look and think about fighting. Or something more. At least Cream got out of that play, by the by. If he died as well, I think that would have been a disaster. Thinking about it. We've got Grove spawning in 25 seconds. You can see the Alistair's already kind of up there, as is the Corki. A regular top esports switch. Equalizer down. Not the best equalizer ever, but it put Monkey in a horrible position. Knocked up under the turret, trying to drive through the wall. Last bit of burn, not quite there. Flash away as Monkey puts down the Bastion, trying to get some time with the Comet. That's the name of that summoner. Summoner rune coming on down as I finally get my nomenclature correct. Taeyu pops away, has the flash, has the cleanse, and we'll have to burn the flash. All the while, Grub's taken by Kanavi, and TES do a good job of playing on the weak side. The roam down from Crisp keeps that one alive. WE no longer have the lead. Cream goes looking for a Q3. Karis is swift enough to shifting Sands out to safety. Equalizer comes on down. Flash. Ah! Killer of the Scorpion. Any Genshin gamers in chat? I don't know what to run in Abyss. I've not looked at Abyss this split, but I used to write guides for Genshin, in fact. I used to get paid to do that for Jinx.tv. So I used to be their Genshin guide writer. Still got a Raiden at C3, Lisa at C6. Yes, we do, boo. There's that kill to get the additional marker for feats of strength. They got the feat of martial or mark of martial mastery. Where did they get that kill onto? It was onto the Rumble, wasn't it? Overplaying a bit in the bot side. Get the decent ignite down. Lilting Lullaby, flash away. Gonna get the Electro Harpoon down. And so you get the flash and heal off Vampire again. Base department, hell yeah. Hell yeah. I've yet to have a look at the Abyss. It's probably a Raiden angle again, let's be real. It normally is. Just looking for a bit more of a trank there onto Karis. Are you in the Discord? Can you ask in the, you can ask in the Gen channel, or in my, I think you, yeah, either that or in my Discord as well. Probably run Hyper Bloom or something. Yeah, Raiden Nahida plus probably not Bennett. Actually, don't want the burn in there. Something like Furina Jean, maybe something like that, and then do a Bennett comp on the other side. Pop Blossom! Hero's Entrance! Equalizer comes on through. Cube has had his TP unleashed. Now get the dragon and get out. Didn't notice the channel. There you go. Go forth and ask support. I don't know why I went full Matt Berry on that call, but here we are. The decision was made. Well, decent little chunk there. 4 grubs, as Lily is claiming a few more. And of course, when you've gone for the Yone and the Rumble, 2 very strong side laners, we'll be able to get some value, I think, from those grubs. Goat pilk, says Alex in the YouTube chat. Why are you encouraging this behavior, Alex? How dare you? Well, Knavi now needs to run away. Swiftly. Flee! Flee for your lives. Grumpy says hello. Go to base moment. 369 has got a flash. Trying to stay out until Pop Blossom doesn't. Doesn't want to burn the flash. Kind of knows he's dead. And WE with some solid ganks here, all things said and done. Monkey's been very active on this Skarn, and with the exception of that one failed dive where Crisp came and defended 369, the attacks have been working. Put this Rumble a lot further behind than I think they wanted to be. It's left Cream some free space on the other side, TPing in now to try and defend this. Azira's Cream rebinds his soul, realizes he's still under turret and has to flash away. Monkey gets plates top because everyone's left. This is an odd state of affairs for top esports. What is going on here? They're looking like a 4-1 team to me, folks. Only 5 or so 100 gold behind. But it does feel like Monkey, while trading out a fair amount of individual advantage in terms of the CS, still getting some value on the map here. Dragon spawning in 2 minutes. Probably going to be our next port of call. Not Baron. Herald a minute after that. So, for top esports, they've gotten a Yone, very strong. Load of early plates, can look to play for a turret. Flash on forward from Vampire, looking for an angle, but Cream turns it around with a Fate Sealed of his own. So Vampire burns the flash to not really all that much avail. Kind of stops Knavi following up, I suppose. But this Lilia is going to become increasingly problematic, I think. You still are going to run into these issues in the 2v2s inside lane. 3v1's a little different. For now. Vampire will do it, says Ruby Spiders. Right. Okay. Q3, kind of dodged by a character with a very swift shifting stance. So, that Herald's coming up. That Dragon's already up. It would be a mark towards seats of strength for top esports if they can claim it. It looks like they'd rather, I think, at the moment, play for some lane pressure. The Azir one out in box side on that front. And 369's being left alone with a turret with 6 grubs. Top esports, I think, would like to hold off from bringing this Rumble down. Gonna TP him in now, but the Dragon's already taken, so it's gonna be a bit late. What about the fight afterwards, though? 369 now left a bit split off. There's a Galio around, carries out to flash for the Pulverize after into the Equalizer. Galio will come on in with the heroic entrance. Crisp trying to make his will unbreakable, but his spirit still feels pretty breakable in the grand scheme of things. A double kill to Monkey, and they overplay into the Galio Skada. Blast Cone out to safety, and 2 people die looking for the play. So initially, Crisco's looking, has his ult running, but then he's going to get CC'd up, and I think his ult just times out. Top side, Cream's in danger, rebinds his soul, dies in a 1v1. Oh no! WE! Hang on. Now 2,000 gold ahead. Vampire's in a spot of bother. Just got hit by that. They don't want to burn a lilting lullaby because they have no flash. So it should just be an easy kill. Jackie's donated that one. So grand scheme of things are 1-for-1. But how on earth does Cream end up in a 1v1 dying like that? As a Yone! He was 700 gold ahead! What? Genji having a bad game too? Oh my days. What's wrong with the world? Where's the Herald down? This is surely Nirvana. No, we're in group ascent. But I will say LGD's win over LNG in the game too, at least. It was pretty smooth. So it's a oh, it's just a deep TP. He's stuck on 3 soldiers. The soldiers follow him, so he's still stuck on 3 soldiers. Unbinds his soul. Immediately gets shuffled. Karras gets to keep autoing. So he spends a solid 5 seconds on 3 soldiers. Monkey eats a lot of magic damage. Swell Seed is wide. Well, TES. Top esports will be losing the first turret here, and that means the feats of strength go the way of the team formerly known as World Elite. We're casting a moment with the transatlantic accent. Coming to you live from sunny Berlin, Germany. See you around, Zeref. My own personal favourite, ragtime top lane. If you get that reference, you're a goat. Sunny at the minute. Summer in Berlin is a sweatbox. Winter, different beast entirely. Grey and miserable and dirty. Spring and summer though, glorious sun. No aircon though. And everyone starts to smell. So, 369 puts on the shield and zooms very briefly. Has got himself the overheat, so increases attack speed, claims another turret. But matching turrets when you've got 6 scrubs ain't fantastic here. Great, miserable and dirty. Sounds like TES internationally. Wow, fairy tale. Dun 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 dun. Get a window AC unit, probably. Actually, yeah, not a bad idea. Ooh, looking for an angle. Taeyun has to flash, but the follow with the pulverized flash from Crisp, who can make his will unbreakable. But you might be able to break his bar, but you gotta break his spirit. Finally goes down. W just winning these fights. Well, turns out the defensive tools of the Galio ult are not being respected properly. Monkey is now so strong. Karis on this is here. Oh my god, we have a 3-game day from WE versus Top Esports. Okay. Well, Chris will get damage down. Decides he's going to trade his life out for CC. Kanavi goes on and kills off the Ezreal. That's actually really significant. Flash away from Vampire, who turns into the Shapeshifter. Jackie Love is now left alone. Flash over the wall. Monkey looking to follow. Fate sealed onto the Scorpion. Massive shield, but the Starux times out and Jackie gets that kill. Now Karis is very, very deep on WE. Oh, it's all gone down the drain. It was a nice dream while it lasted. And then Lilia turns it into a nightmare. Oops. Avert your eyes, WE fans. That might have been problematic. The gold is now back to near even. And there's an Atacon and Kanavi starting it with double burn items. Where's the rest of the team? Could be around shortly. Good damage. And you run away. Damage keeps going. Flash away from Kanavi. Monkey's just about alive. Kanavi needs to back away. Atacon was taken, of course. There's so many petals to pick up, though. Monkey surviving means that WE on that teleport. You have to claim most of those. So, a lot of the petals picked up by WE. About 20 odd more. So significant enough. About a third of a level. Which is decent. Keeps Taeyun up. Let's have a look again. So, Chris gets caught and just says, fuck it, we ball. Takes most of his HP bar but doesn't go down, and then in goes Chris, double pulverized. Taeyun is then in a challenging position, especially as Kanavi lands a Swell Seed into Blooming Blows combo. That means your Ezreal is no longer doing damage because he is dead. Great flash from Jackie means that Karis can't follow because he doesn't have any tools remaining. No flash, no shuffle, and Jackie, with a bit of assist from Cream, gets to bring one down. Now, Karis is lullabied, dies, resets come on through, and then the Atacon does a fair amount of work. Is this on? Hang on. Do they fumble the smite? They do. Okay, they don't. Thank God, I thought they did. I don't mind. But the thing is, at this point, they go looking for some more. Galio, heroic entrance. Taeyun survives, and everyone runs away. They have to leave a lot of the petals as Monkey goes looking. It's a good drive into the wall. Crisp dies. Cream needs a Q3. Unbind to Soul. Tries to get some more work, but it's actually a really good taunt there to make sure he dies as well. Flash out from Kanavi. So they get a couple back, which is important. However, gold only being 1,000 gold apart is not fantastic news for WE. Interesting to see the Crypt Bloom second for this Rumble as well. Wants the penetration early, but I guess wants the ability haste over necessarily the raw pen. Typical Taeyun, yeah, sometimes. In fairness, Ezreal for me is his best champion by a fairly significant margin. However, he is certainly not perfect. Righty then. Chris gonna come over the wall. Smack goes the Skarner. Gets soul point for WE. The top esports, despite that nice, decent look in into the Atakan, are still in a very dire position now with Hex Soul on. You have a 2.5 item, Azir and Ezreal, with good ability to disengage from top esports all in combo. Baron's up and available. Monkey takes a wolf camp on the way out. Just be careful on this reset. He's on a ward right now. At least I'm back in time to watch top esports lose. Yeah, definitely possible. Okay, Kanavi, lilting Lullaby, backs away, but the Impale buffers through! Now Crisp is in danger on the other side, the Equalizer comes on down, Kanavi trying to get some work up, but Monkey's got a Sterak's, means he doesn't die for a very long time. Will finally pop. The heal bloom from the Crypt Bloom doing his work, in goes Cream trying to find an angle onto Cube, Fate sealed after, gets the Galio, Karis goes golden, and the pop back is only going to be the clone dying. Flash away from Karis keeps him alive. But the mid and AD carry from top esports, too scary now for WE to turn onto Baron. Good work from Cream there. There's that replay. This from Cream was really important. Flash Q3 into an R. Karis goes golden. Flashes away after. Pretty significant. Righty. WE 16 to 8 in kills. Baron is up. 2 minutes until Hexol. Top esports have got 3 items onto this Yone and 3 items onto this Cork. Important break. Rumble building towards a Shadow Flame. Be a lot of flat. There'll be a lot of pen. To a team that has got a decent amount of magic resist. Of course, the Galio is really helping with the shield from the R. But yeah, TES losing on blue side to WE would be something, wouldn't it? Especially on Cream on his iconic Yone. What a disaster that would be. I'm going to try and rush this before Hexol starts. Here we go. There's a lot of wards down, far side down, teleports come flying. TES looking to flip, pull away now, down at 8k. Cube, Vampire, top side of the map, Monkey in the pit, needs to be very wary as he gets headbutt pulverized into the Q3. Galio comes flying on through, they'll knock up Chris, but he's pretty tanky right now. His body is unbreakable, but his will might well be. Corky does kill off that Skarner though. Other side, look at 369, the back line. Burns down Cube, will trade out. The shuffle doesn't work out. Kanavi now running away. Needs to turn around, misses the blooming blows even with the speed up. You've lost Cream, you've lost Crisp, you've lost 369, but Cube and Monkey dead again. True Shot Barrage will not tag Jackie. "35 seconds until Hexon. We burned a lot of ultimates." Let's have a look again. Because initially they think, right, well, Monkey's by himself, we're going to force on this. In we go. Cream will unbind his soul in a second. We'll rebind his soul in a second. The Equalizer is okay-ish. It's not fantastic. It hurts Monkey. But then Rumble's going to go right around the backside and look to really threaten Taeyun and Cube. We'll get Cube, but Taeyun is just strong enough now, and there's no Zonies or anything on this Rumble. Very squishy build. No Rift Maker or anything like that, so it just gets run down by the grand scheme of things. So only gets a 1-for-1 there. And the Ezreal now 3.5 items. The Zhonya's now completed for Karis. Hex Dragon up. We go again. Check those ultimate timers. Should be mostly available. Lilting Lullaby is not. Galio's Grand Entrance is not. Sorry, Heroic Entrance is not, and that's really significant. Pop Blossom comes on forwards, lands onto 2, but they've blown up the Skarner! Equalizer! Fate sealed in the backline. Vampire just about surviving, though. Into the backline goes Karis. Shuffles one back. Cream goes down as well. Golden. Karis dies. Kanavi goes Golden himself, healing back up. 369 needs to leave. Flash away. The taunt from the shielded Duran, and Taeyun can look to hop on for more. Turn around, though, as he's now in danger, but just blows the head off the Rumble. So much damage, and they can't threaten him. The range discrepancy comes back to bite him. Karis does magic in the backline, and they'll claim themselves Hexol. Ezreal and Azir with Hexol. That's going to be a nightmare. Starts with Kanavi and Jackie, already chunked out very heavily by the Azir and the Ezreal. Monkey dies. You think, okay, we can play this. The Equalizer looks good. Hits 4 people. Fate sealed. Only really catch onto 1, though. And Karis gets to step on forwards and burn out 1. Shuffle back Cream before he can Q3 out to safety. Golden does eventually die, but the work is done. Taeyun's on nearly max HP. Kanavi tries to flash and run away, but 369 is not really in position to threaten. I think maybe if you've been able to get on top of Taeyun with Kanavi right as he comes out of Zhonya's, it might have been playable, but it was always going to be bloody tight. Cream has got the QSS, immediately undoes the Impale. Shielded around, lands, but Cube now in a difficult location. Kanavi's going to get run down by Taeyun and Karis. Hexol work. Kanavi's Lilia, normally so genuinely dangerous. I remember his time on JDG when he was first making a name for himself. This was the champion I think he was most famous for alongside the Kindred. Cream looking for potential Fate sealed angle. Back outside of the shielded around, but that's now Baron and Hexol. Likely game for WE. Fate sealed away. Cream survives for now. Monkey can drive on forward. Turned around on by Cream. In comes the Hero's Entrance. And Crisp gonna go down, as is that Rumble. And that's got to be game. If not now, then in a matter of moments. We've got Cream back up, Kanavi up, and Jackie here. Maybe it'll just be an inhibitor. How aggressively do they want to shove with the man advantage? 2-man advantage. Crisp will be up in 5. Cream looking for an angle, but just takes so much damage. Looking! Incidental poke will lead to Cream's demise. Goodbye, Yone. TES are being humbled here. Flash on forward from Taeyun. Dies for it. Bit much, WE. In hit, the Nexus still under siege, though. Cube autos a few times, as does Karis. Nexus falls on WE. Lee Sin, though, for Kanavi. A little less obvious. Saw a fantastic pop-off game from Junhao just the other day on that champion. Early power to set up some good skirmishes. Some good immobile carries to potentially threaten. It's decent to the Shinzao. Gonna have to manage things like the knockbacks and the gravity fields and the chains of corruption, but you can play this one as the Lee Sin, I think. Varus Nautilus for the bot lane for WE is a lot of power in its own right. The front to back right now for WE with a decent amount of pick. Very, very strong. Top esports. Bit more alone on this Lee Sin to get rolling. Kind of looking to play more for the... Well, I come back and Violence is securing top lane. Flash away from Chris, keeps him alive. The turn back on in, looking for the kill. That's Misfortune with the first blood. Jackie Love off to a great start. 369 gets away, can let another shot blast out. As WE have so much spell flux thrown across them. Yeah, in terms of the flashes being blown. 369 down his, Chris down his. Monkey and Cube also down theirs. So in the end, a pretty decent win there for Top Esports as a contest over those top lane bushes ends up in a messy, messy state. Monkey starting bot side, so is the Lee Sin. Starting on his red buff too, doesn't have that much AoE until a bit later on, so generally speaking wants to start red buff. Doesn't really get AoE until he gets his E down, and that's the third ability, Matt, you go for after your Safeguard / Iron Will. TES, Joe, I believe in the intergames. Mecca. Resident TES hater today. Sam the social banner, thank you very much. Appreciate you, Monties. That's the one. And caster cursing with all its worth. Monkey, gonna get jumped on here. Jack and Kanavi will ward hop forwards. Gonna turn this around. Monkey gets out to safety. Fight now over this red buff. 369 also roaming on up, but now Cube looking to come back over. He plays around. Sonic Wave, resonating strike used. Kanavi shields himself with a safeguard. Will have some Iron Will to work as well. Cube, level 3, can look to play this one. We're getting a big fight over this. Should just be taken. Smite used. Throws out that Sonic Wave. I don't think he's going any further, but nice invade. Secures the kill. Flash down bot side. Flashes for flashes as they get the kill onto Chris. That's a 2v2 going very wrong. Jackie now in danger. Has all the blight stacks on him. A last arrow would do it, but I don't think Taylor's going to quite get the opportunity. Arrow through. Comet after. Gets the kill. 2 kills bot side. Cream's now turned up. He's on a roam down bot side. But Vampire and Taeyun could potentially play this one well. They're going to potentially trade this one out. The initial overload goes wide. And they're going to leave out the Varus to dry. Kill secured by Cream. Still, 2 kills to Varus, who backs away, double longsword, tier in inventory. Nice play, bots. Well, that was certainly an interesting first few minutes of the game, wasn't it, folks? First blood to Top Esports after a skirmish top. So have a look at this down here. So I'm assuming... Is it a level 3 coming on up? No, well, Crisp and Jackie hit level 3 first. And then Vampire just hits a hook. Flash on forward orders come on through. Q's there. Staggering blows onto Jackie Love, who's then slowed down, doesn't want to cleanse. Next Q comes on through and Taeyun hits the arrow. Comet. Scorch. Lights out. I take it this series hasn't been going well. It's been interesting. Top Esports deservedly lost game 1. Being very disrespectful into a Skarner Galio defensive comp as a relatively all-in comp themselves. Crisp on a roam on up. Vampire also here. Troll wards out that vision wall. Crisp is also here. Unknown quantity. Currently, Misfortune left on a 1v1 with Cube, while the full bot lane has gone topside. Grub spawning in 30 seconds. Kanavi will be around. Down to play this one out. There's Chris, another hook lands. Might try and get a crash down, and we'll do so. Nothing too much more than that. Still Nautilus Aftershock now on cooldown, I suppose. Ta-da. Monkey Potentially in danger, flashes away. Chris with the flash over for the striding strike, but now in danger himself. Cream gets over, gets the Rune Prison down, and overloads in. Monkey tries to get some more value. Kanavi now in danger, though. Has to flash on out. Karis now here. Throws down the gravity field. Gets the root. In comes the Arcane Storm as 369 needs a whole of a lot of damage. Goes on in with the disguise and the Thundering Blow. Should surely get the kill. Teu gets one back. They also kill off the Rel. Ends up being a 2 for 2. Now Cream is also in danger with no flash and no phase rush to work with. Kanavi lands that Sonic Wave, but has to be very careful about following that up with the Resonating Strike. Can look for the hook here. Cream would need to dodge well. Lands the hook. Vampire! Stakes him. I think the Arcane Storm timed out before the kill came on through. Kanavi should get the grubs at least. And the respawns will allow it to. So in the end, it actually, the martial mastery for top esports, because they got the first kill and the first set of grubs. So, you know, despite losing the additional kill, that could have been a lot worse. Tried to steal out that grub with an empowered Q. Couldn't quite do it. I don't know about this one, Kanavi. Here comes the rest of top esports, though. Full set of solo laners available. Crisp is also here. Monkey might want to smite this. Shadowing Strike lands onto Monkey. Gets crashed down on, but Vampire over the wall make this full contact. League of Legends. Now Karis coming on over. Crisp in danger. Scum Crab smote out. Taken by Monkey. Now in danger. Has no HP to work with. Still get the gravity field. They kill off the other jungler. Now into the back line goes Cream, who's very low, but Teu needs to back away. Doesn't have the flash. Gets hit by the shock blast. And turn around with the Cream. He's pretty good as he starts phase rushing away. Karis and Vampire desperately low. Cream, surely they get one back. There goes Karis in trade for the side of Crisp. Shield from Vampire with the Titan's Wrath. Should be okay to keep him up. Hail of Arrows onto Crisp, or Cream rather. He needs to be a bit careful stepping on forwards. Tane's not far off 6. And that ends up being a very, very even set of trades. Still Monkey, well, it ends up 0 and 3 here. Makes this a bit of a messy state of affairs. It's a bloody early game. What are we at? 13 kills in 8 minutes? Hot damn. I will note that Teu down 20 CS to this Varus. Or to this Misfortune. Bit scary. Crashdown comes on through. It's all the fighting that's been happening. Cube was hoping a public execution on top of someone to get some CC in the shield. Can't quite do it. Now it's the Drake out step and flash away. Stays alive though. So that So... WE. Been playing pretty well in terms of the proactivity, but top esports have gotten a lot of these objectives, got the feats of strength, are still in a pretty good spot this game. All things said and done. That said, we did say, look, if it comes down to just straight fights, post the one item, I think it gets harder. Do. Still, the early objectives put top esports in good standing. Only 300 gold ahead, though, and that's a bit problematic. Cream, as we said, in a potentially very dangerous position to carry here. Cube. Finds Kanavi. Why is he sitting in that bush and not wanting to reveal too much? So, second undone for Taeyu. Picked up a Serpent's Fang early. I think that's probably quite smart. Into Rel, who may well be building a Locket. The Misfortune's got the Bloodthirster shield. Rise will have shields from the Seraphs at some point. Lee Sin has them from the Safeguard. Jay's probably the only person who doesn't get them naturally. But he might even go for something like Sterex or an Eclipse, I suppose, at some point. Who did they want draft? I think I prefer WE's draft. Then top esports skirmish well, like very well with this comp. But I think WE have got decent skirmishing power of their own, and it's just easier to team fight with. I think between the Nautilus and the Xin Zhao and the gravity fields and the chains of corruption, play from a bit further range with a lot of area denial that makes the likes of this the Lee Sin's life a lot harder. That said, they've not really been fighting for these objectives like at all early. To pick up that Herald at the very least, can look to use it to break down something like a turret prior to a dragon, which could be a big deal. See whether that works out well. WE win. You all ever think about how your pinky is easy to bite through, like as a baby carrot, but your brain doesn't let you? Why, Mantis? No, I hadn't thought about that. Oh, God. I've never had that desire. Monty's with some serious Call of the Void energy there. Hello, just got some free time to watch the stream. What's happening? It seems unbelievable that TES lost WE in Game 1. Yeah, so basically Game 1, WE drafted Galio into the Rumble, which is a pretty good lane matchup topside, and a Skarner with a pretty good range advantage with an Azir and an Ezreal into a very all-in comp. And top esports were not very respectful of the Galio defensive tools, and Karis and Taeyu actually had pretty good games on very mobile long-range carries, and Cream, Kanavi, 369 had shockers, honest answer. It was not pretty. Crisp was left with the unenviable job of starting fights as Alistair into that combo. And the rest of the team really fumbled. But, you know, you had a Yone for Cream. The Lilia for Kanavi, two of their most iconic champions. Rumble for 369, for God's sake. And they couldn't find a clean team fight to save their lives. It was very painful. You've tried it during an anatomy class with cadavers? Dark World, why are you eating dead bodies? What? For those of you not in the Twitch chat, I'm aware that there's YouTube chat and Onivia's chat that's probably going, what the hell's happening? Things are weird in Twitch chat right now. And there's so many questions. I have answers I'm not sure I want to hear. Genji can also 0-2 lose to Bro. I mean, maybe. Maybe. Herald gets summoned into mid lane. Gives WE pressure in mid. Forces Cream and Jackie out of that river. Gets WE in first. Leaves Jackie to be left second to move. On vision right now. Farsight alteration. We're going to see a bit of a flip over. This can always be hard to smite fight against a Lee Sin. Hook, though, onto the backside. 369! Gonna get dropped. Flash over the wall. Stays alive. The acceleration gauge is just about enough, but they're gonna have Kanavi flash on out as well, as the Arcane Storm won't quite secure him. Manong Monkey now in danger. Doesn't have the Crescent Guard as Queen flashes on forwards. 3 flashes from the side of Top Esports, but WE burn 4 and still can't secure the kills. Health bars were dwindling. But that'll be Mountain Soul Point for Top Esports. Managed to hold on just about, and a good flash on forward. A Monkey went to secure a kill and couldn't do it. Well, there goes. See, this looked like a fantastic pickoff, but they couldn't get to it. 369 is on about 10 HP. Kanavi flashed out of Monkey's 3. Because look, Monkey has 3 Talon Striker. Literally, a last order was a knocker. Oh, can't get in range for a knock up on anyone. I'm going to give him Triumph and Sundered Sky. Ugh. Top Esports now in a good position to win the game. I agree. Soul Point. Oh, WE. That fight is going to haunt them. 3k down, Soul Point down. And the early skirmishing. And early objective stacking. Put Top Esports into a good position. I still think the team fights aren't going to be that easy. But they put themselves in a great position and some good gold leads, particularly in mid and top. May well come to haunt WE now from this point in the game. Monkey see, monkey died. A little bit. TES, please go back to sleep. You may have woken up a bit angry after that first game. Atakan's up, and a reminder, we had 13 kills in 8 minutes, so the game has seriously slowed down since the early stages. Atakan started. I don't know whether you can reset here. You'll be allowed to. Atakan used to clear out the friendly minions. Minion denial used. Varus feels so scared. They can't see anything. Very tricky. Need to wait for the Nautilus to come out on the map. Second item done for the Lee Sin. The Eclipse and the Sundered Sky makes him a very potent skirmisher right now. At least you got 2 items done for Karis as well at this point. The problem is he's behind the Zhonya's. The Arm Guard completion going to be very frustrating to manage right now for Karis. Cube with the TP. I'll look to join at a relatively short notice. It's the circle of suck. Makes us go, what the hockey puck. In the circle of suck. Ahem. So, 3,000 gold lead for top esports. Sole point. Dragon spawning in a minute. WE. Now with their backs against the wall. What felt like a good team comp. Some good skirmishing. Didn't really convert very well into lane pressure, did it? And that's been a little problematic. Third item's done for Taeyun at least. There's the Muramana transformation. Starak's done for the Shinsa. Important as your main front line here as well. Not much taking the enemy jungle. Karis is going to be recalling, I think, safely enough. Fight over the mid lane. Control ward used to help keep an eye on some of those wards put down in lane. Allows for a TP in. 8 seconds on Mountain Dragon. Top esports in control of the river. Vampire's going to step forward with Monkey and look to try and get rid of some of these wards. Find an option in. Should be able to get that last one down. Clear out that control ward. Second one is put down. Still fighting over those. Job secured. Another control ward down, but it is WE in position in the river. Good fight back into the river though by top esports. So many control wards just on that river entrance. WE command the banana bush though. Na'Vi looking for a steal angle over the wall. Chains of corruption goes on in. Vampire's in danger though. And the turnaround brutal. They will kill off the Rels. It ends up being a 1-for-1 in terms of support. Cream in danger. Gets jumped on. Trying to flash away. They've killed him off. Arcane Storm. Absolutely brutal in the backline. Kanavi with the kick. Trying to get some valor down. Goes down. And Cube stays alive. Ends up being a 3-for-3. Top lane as an AD carry survived. No one else does. Cube needs to back high, won't get interrupted, can TP back in, so can 369. They're both TPing in, they want to play for this dragon, and we go again. Lot of big flashes blown there. Everybody on top esports without their flash. Most of WE with theirs available. That could be interesting with this dragon still up. Jace would have picked up a lot of those kills there. Top esports. Look again. To Hook, initially onto the Rel, who's going to try and turn this around in a second. Magnet Storm does get a fair amount of value, but will dive for it. Taeyun in a good spot to keep ordering down. Cream is then left very deep as Cube flashes on in, and the flash from Cream earns nothing. Kanavi goes on in, but he's stuck in the Arcane Storm. 369 has to flash on out so he doesn't die either, especially with that increasing storm radius. That was getting very scary. Just enough speed up with the Mercury Hammer transformation out. The Hextech capacitor doing its work. Cold lead stays the same as it was before that fight. Taeyun with some additional penetration, courtesy of the last Whisper. No Durex. Gonna turn on to the Mountain Dragon. This would be so for top esports if they could just secure that turnaround. They're gonna turn back on the fight though. Bullet time interrupted. Kick away from Cube, who still goes lacerating forward. Kills off the Rel. That gets the Arcane Storm rolling. Cream's gone golden, but he's very, very low. Karis with the Hextech Ray. Value back. Kanavi though. So much bloody healing. Needs to stay alive. Gets out of the Hextech Ray. Shock blast. And somehow Kanavi sustain his value enough. That felt pretty good for WE there at points. Turret shot is nearly enough. How did he take aggro there? But that'll be Soul. And they can go back for it. I thought they managed it. I think that kick away on Cube may have bought them enough time. That Zonya's on Creep may have bought them enough time. The flash advantages weren't enough. Back to Dragon we go. Because again, they turn for the fight. Dracula, bullet time. Only really catches onto one. Not great, but the Realm Warp gets enough value as Taeyun thinks he can kill off Cream, but it's a good golden moment. You think still, that Arcane Storm is brutal. They still manage to kill off the backline. Monkey and Cube die. Kanavi sits in that Arcane Storm and just doesn't care. Not enough damage yet on this Victor. So Victor, who's still stuck at 2 items. Finally has an arm guard. That might be valuable. And the Sustainer is enough. Gets to jump onto Taeyun without the front line there to protect him. Monkey struggling at this point to get the same value on this Xin Zhao as Kanavi is on a Lee Sin, I thought. Might have a bit tougher time as the fights went on, but is really navigating these fights very, very accurately so far. Well, there goes the damage, as we're going to try and play for another kill off the Misfortune, though. And that's pretty big. Monkey healing up. Cream's in danger, caught the Arcade Storm. They just killed off 2 members. Cream has no flash. That's 50 seconds on the carries. Jackie's gone for the Immortal Shield, but buys it up, but they can turn to Baron. Mountain Soul be bloody damned. I knew it, says Brother Bill. Kanavi with a GA. Very hard to keep out of this pit. The Lee Sin could definitely flip this into the backline. Trying to heal on up. Gets knocked down, though. This cube needs to back away. Will respawn shortly. 369 could be dangerous. Caught on the healing debuff aura of the Hail of Arrows. And Cube will lacerate. The Shock Blast, though, so deadly. They want this Baron. The health bar so low. And a powered Shock Blast into the skies would bring everyone out of the game. But 369 not bold enough to go any further forwards. Wait, they're on a ward. Shock Blast, Shock Blast. Holy Kunks Vampire. Oh my days. WE with the fight of their lives. Get another kill. Elders in 3 minutes. Barons for 245. Are you not entertained, folks? No, I am. Chains of Corruption on the Realm Warp. It is not pretty. Public execution onto a rooted Misfortune. Ambessa will always have her pick of that MF the moment she sits down to ult. Pull back into the Arcane Storm. And Cream ruining that particular Realm Warp. Oopsie, that's such a good game on the rise. But that one could really haunt them. They've still got Mountain Soul. They're still up 2,000 gold. It's not like this game is anywhere near over. It's still playable. But it's a fumble they didn't need. And another bit of an eyebrow raise versus Top Esports, who we expected more from. Karis claims another turret. In the third of the game. Lot of standing gold right now for WE to claim. Atacam, by the way, is still up. No one wants to flip over that right now. The Jace has no penetration, by the way. Gone for the Ghost Blade and the Serpent's Fang. So no Cyrilda or anything. That Chains of Corruption lands, so the lethality at this point in the game means he doesn't really hurt all that much. No Black Cleaver, no Cyrildas. I wonder how much that's going to hurt him. 369 with the choice to have some of that Shield Shred in the mid lane. Cube's going to jump away. Beginning to hop out as fast as he can. Flash on out. Realm Warp was burned. Flash on forward to get to the skies. Public execution on the backside means Cream's in danger. Shoots shield of his own. They finally root him down. They'll claim that tier 2 bot side. What did that cost you? Flash on 369? Worthy, I think. Atacam now up. They can play this with the man advantage. WE. Are they going to fight this one? They're going to come on over. I think Atacam might die before they get there. They're doing Raptors. Pinging, I think, too late. This will be gone. Monkey. Speeding up. Down. But the petals afterwards are playable. Can look to fight for that one. Not going to do it. That's Mountain Soul empowered. Damn. Too slow on the rotation over. So, 7-2 Jace. Yeah, 369. First pick that Jace. He hurts. I still think he needs to get some armor pen here, probably. Things like the Randuin's being built up is really hurting his ability to do things. But hang on! The rise damage afterwards. Hang on to be my turnaround phrase at the moment. "15 seconds on Elder. You just had your front line chunked to hell. WE forced way back. Even in kill, 17 to 17. 369 in the bush, and WE playing blind into a 4-item Jace kind of sucks. In goes Kanavi, looks for the kick. Into the tag vine goes Dayun. He's down and dead. They'll kill off Kanavi. That's the jungler down, but Monkey now in danger. Flashes out to safety briefly. Cream looking with the phase rush and the flash to get some damage and will bring him down. 3 down the corner of the turret. Takes the turret shot himself. Shrimp Chris goes down. They get some damage as Cream eats some more of his own. They've lost the jungler, but so all have WE. Taeyun dead. Monkey dead. But they've lost the support. They've lost the jungler. I don't think you can Elder off this, but there's still a teleport in for Cream. Oh boy, how aggressively are we playing this one? On to the Elder we go. We're flipping. No smites required. Holy moly. Vampire's here. Down to half HP. It's going to be a flip. Cube, no ult. TP in from Karras. Got a death cap. That's why he's late over. Turning onto Vampire. They can look for the hook. That's on to 369. Turnaround damage not quite there. They're going to Cream though. As he goes golden. Caught on the gravity field. Range advantage problematic. Flash on forward. Realm Warp through Cream. Brings him over. Q trying to trade this one out. The shields are so ridiculous. And they can't win out the fight. Karras is there with a death cap that means nothing. And despite what should have been an even numbers fight, the Mountain Soul plus all of those shields proves far too much. Back to the Elder we go. And Top Esports have it. No real contest available anymore from Top Esports. Sorry, from WE. Well then. Base broken. Top Esports on the warpath, looking to bring us to a game 3. WE, despite what felt like a pretty good team, got some good fights, struggled in the objective game. The macro sense and the objective control wasn't there. Now into the Elder, it's looking pretty much over. The kick away onto Monkey, keeps him alive briefly, but Cube will fall. And the Jace and the Misfortune roar their way to another team fight win as Cube is squared. And the Nexus falls. The hell is the Ziggs? Yeah, I'm a bit interested in that one too. I feel like you might end up being a bit AP heavy here. Then again, you've got the Poppy Neferi Aatrox. No AD carry here at all, though. Interesting. Ashe Braum locked in. The thing is, the Ziggs can bully out the Braum quite well. You outrange him, you can knock him back. Don't really block the Ziggs ultimate. And well, you can versus the Jhin. They didn't want to brawl themselves and force that Poppy into the Gnar, which could be a bit of an interesting time. Cube, long-time Aatrox player. W damage is kind of low. Onto the riff we go. Volume up. Crowd shall yell for the last time today. Right. Oh. Not what we wanted to do. There we go. If W Alex needs to bring some new awards for this, now we'll see. Bombs come flying. There's sometimes a world where you see the Ziggs go for the minefield first, but the cooldown's lower. See how it all plays out. Braum at level 1 can be pretty scary. Into the Poppy 2, who's a weird matchup into the Braum. You can stop him dashing around with his E, so if he goes too deep, get stuck in, but you're still a melee champion into Braum, and that's just a bad time in general. Boom. Can you write the song name in English? Honestly, Dennis, I've been looking for it. I've not found the name of the song name. If I find out, see what I can do. But yeah, and I've been asking as well. I genuinely don't know. Get actually bullied for 10k points. Let's go. Jackie, when looking for the additional thing onto it, they'll burn the heal to keep chasing, but that's the heal down. And a good knockaway means Taeyun and Vampire happy enough here. Teleport on Taeyun as well means the moment he gets lost chapter or a tier, he ain't leaving, folks. What's the name of the song in English? Maybe 1,000 Kites will know. Let's find out. We're asking another chance for you, Dennis. See if we can combine our powers here. Which song? I think it was the Champ Select song. We had Dennis over in Onivia's chat asking what it was. And I was saying, I don't know. Cream. Eats a threaded volley. Oh. I could just help with the poor song. Nice attempt though, Iris. Appreciate you trying. They aren't actual songs, but yeah, I figured as much. There'll be proprietary ones for the LPL. Just got a text from Sonic for 99-cent corn dogs all day. Why is Sonic the Hedgehog texting you about corn dogs? Feels like some weird fan fiction life. I'm not into that. There's that devil Sonic gif out there that haunts me to this day. No, Sonic the food place. Okay. Not the Hedgehog. Is there a rival Shadow the food place? Knuckles the enchilada? It's basically what corn dogs look like in Joy for the Win. Leave it at that. Oh, sorry, this missus walked away for a moment. How could you, 1,000 Kites? How dare you have a life outside of this stream? Unacceptable. Opening a Wendy's in my country. Is Bacanator as good as the internet says? I've only ever had Wendy's like once and I never tried it. Vampire with a roam up top. I want to see whether there's a little punish here on a 369. Looks like you got it infected by the feral vibes. Fair enough. Right, on 369. Flashes out of the infernal chains. Nice from Cube. Buckler could interrupt this back. Gonna leave it? Okay. I would have been tempted to interrupt that. All the while, though, Kanavi and Crisp will start up an early dragon. We've got ourselves Grub spawning in 10 seconds. So we'll see that started by Monkey. I want to know whether our Horn Dog Neferi... Horn Dog? Corn Dog? Corn Dog was where I should have gone with that. That... It's because it's spiky, and I went, ooh, horns, and that was just not the correct phrase. I can only apologise on that one. That one was unintentional. Hero charges the wall. They'll get a decent shove back, but there's still going to be Kanavi in danger. He flashes away to safety. Door goes up. Buys some time. Monkey gets level 6. Can look for the ult. Does so. Gets over the brawl. Tries to get the kill. The passive is so deadly. Can't W until a little too late, but they're taking one out. They get another charge of the wall. Braun getting another passive down. Gets shoved across the unraveled earth. Flashed away from Chris, but should surely have another auto available. Flash from Karis. Trying to get the kills here. Buys some time. The door does its work. And now Cream with the ult running can look for more. Oh my days. Chris with the flash, the heal, and the door gets all the value they need. Top Esports get away with actual murder there. Not quite a kill. Hang on, turn around. Karis gets out alive as well. Cream has no mana. Flash on 4 from Jackie. The volley will get that kill. So another summoner burn, but Jackie still gets that. Karis gets to stay alive and can teleport back in. I need a replay of that one, because what? I'm guessing Monkey didn't get a chance to W because he got stunned up for too long, even with the kill going forwards. And then Crisp with the flash, with the heal, with the heal, with the door going up. That damage resist on the door is always pretty high. Cooldown on threaded volley too long. Going to stand behind me for is that additional resists? I think it might be even. Here's that look at the replay. It looked great to begin with. And Monkey gets level 6 off the Scuttle Crab, then flashes to get in range for it. We have to look topside. It's 369, remember, with no flash. Doesn't quite die. Kanavi now here as well. Would have been difficult to keep going forwards. I feel bad for WE there. They had that. Yeah, the stand behind me gave him an additional set of bonus magic resist. And the auto resist too. Hang on, charge to the top side, into the wall. 369 now in danger, and the Hound's Pursuit helps Monkey pick up another. 369 zoned off the turret. Nice work from WE. Arrow lands. Charm, plus the ult available. That surely means that Karis has nowhere to go. Well, Unraveled Earth does a decent work, and they get that kill. Great arrow from downtown to get a chunk across that mid laner and bring Karis out for the cow. Jackie, accurate today. Karis literally had one job. Yeah, it's a bit annoying, that. Jackal of Ash is pretty good. Yeah, it is. Let's have a look again. So it's just an arrow from down the lane. It's an Ash specialty. If you curl it, you cover more of the lane. Good angle. And Karis eats ice. Couple of stacks for Cream on the Dark Seal. Going towards this rower build. We've seen pretty much everyone do now. On practically everything. Not looking like my Ash ults. Mr. Pillow, you're a fantastic AD carry. None of this. Pillow in chat. Actually very knowledgeable about AD carry builds. Worth noting. Are you not much of an Ash player, Pillow? I thought you were just most AD carries, to be honest. TES in a pretty good spot now. Good ADC equals bad with skill shots. Right click only. Kanavi goes and nabs that Raptor camp. Q back through. I've got food arriving in about 15 minutes. I'm very excited. Who scales better? That's an interesting question. I think WE, because the Ziggs has quietly excellent scaling, and I prefer it. I prefer the Neferi over the Vi post 2 items. Hell of not 2 items. I think it's relatively even, is the honest answer. But I think the range discrepancy could prove problematic for TES if the mid game doesn't snowball well for them. You can't say food and not name the dish. I've got Katsu curry coming. TES outscales heavily, you think? You know, actually, that's interesting. So why do you think that, out of interest, Tsubula? I mean, don't get me wrong. I think the Gnar will have a split push angle. But I think the Ziggs to Leopold will be really, really strong. In comes the ult. So try and get the damage onto Vampire Dies across that one. Turns that one out. There's the damage onto Kanavi. Well, at least get that one turned around. They lost Monkey, though. It's pretty significant. Shout out from Philippines. Hello, Philippines. Monkey sent it. Yeah, he went a bit deep there. Yeah, Katsu curry is what I've got ordered. So what the hell happened to Monkey? So they try to jump onto Jackie. W has zone control, but I think Ari Vi is more than enough. Yeah, I mean, the thing is, the Poppy Talia should make things quite tricky. They time out a lot of those abilities, though, here. And that does a really good work. And basically, there's a lot of AoE damage. It doesn't quite kill 2 members there. Shadow's winning. Top Esports are currently winning. Though not by a crazy margin. Might go buy a pack of animal crackers? Do it. In honor of this series. Grubs. Secured them mostly by WE. That'll be an objective marker for them. However, looks like Top Esports should be able to claim the second dragon. TES, better engage. Yes, I agree. However, I do think there's a lot of ways to get on top of people, like this from Monkey. There's a lot of target access still. Monkey can press W. Gonna get some teleports back on out. 369 forced away. They get their own teleport in. This is gonna be a really rough spot from Cream. Tries bounced around. Oh my days. Braum's dead. Glacier Fish is not gonna be enough. World Ender from Cube gets that one. Need to be a bit wary in mid lane. Arrow lands. Oh, Karis. Well, that's a dead Talia, isn't it? 1 for 1. Yeah, I had to know that's happening, surely. Should be able to get the first turret here. They've got the satchel. And claim that one. Very LPL coded. Monkey will hop on forward throughout the Dark Daggers. And yeah, so like the hard CC from WE isn't super great. It's Talia Seismic Shove, it's knockups from Aatrox. The hardest you've got is the Poppy stuns, right? However, you've got a lot of incidental CC and a lot of incidental engage. Monkey jumping forwards, Cube with the big knockups and flanks like this, right? Infernal Chains. You've got Satchel and Teiyu. So there are lots of bits and pieces here, which means actually if you can get into a fight, you can keep them going. And you have got a fair amount of target access. And between the Talia and the Poppy, you've still got a lot of ability to get into the backline alongside things like a teleport from Cube, alongside the Mega Inferno Bomb, and Monkey pressing R. So I think that can make it a bit difficult. Also, Vampire and Poppy is always scary for WE. Just put him on orders to break and hit R. Yeah, that's true. He overplays on Poppy quite a lot. I give you that. I give you that. I'm so excited for food, chat. I can't begin. WE making TES look like a mid-team? Honestly, yeah. I mean, fairness to WE, it's been solid improvement. Vampire the Goat will have an incredible Poppy game here since Ruby Spiders. Aragon's got to another one. W with a slight gold lead here, actually. Very, very minor. It's like less than 100 gold, but still, not bad. This Aatrox being 1,000 gold ahead is going to be a problem for top esports, though. Because you dive into the Aatrox and you don't blow him up very easy with your combo. Nice jump, and that's actually going to put a fair amount of damage on the Kanavi. But tanky enough at this point. It's only 10% or so of their HP bar. And Karis with only a Seraph, it's not the strongest champion of all time. Hang on, Crisp needs to be a bit wary here. The dogs come flying on forwards. W should contest for next Dragon if they otherwise they'll definitely lose the game. Yeah, the issue they had in game 2 is they didn't contest Dragons very well. Didn't contest objectives very well, and that proved problematic. I'm not sure about Aatrox's game, we'll see. I mean, it being very, very ahead, it's also a dive buddy with Poppy and Neferi. Good setup for Ziggs. And then the Ahri and the Vi don't enjoy it very much, and the Gnar will have a bit of a difficult time. Jackie basically will have this happen on repeat, and it's really problematic. Can try and turn this around. Cube still got Mega Inferno, sorry, the World Ended Rolling. Flash, barrier down from Jackie, ult down from Jackie. You get the Herald. Jackie's going to have to reset. You've got Ziggs Herald. This is going to be a rough shove, and now the Ashe is just not going to be safe in mid lane. 3-0-2 for Jackie is good. But I think this Ashe is now going to have a real problem finding places to stay alive. Oh, just too early on the wall. But it means Ahri's on the wrong side of it. Kanavi needs to flash away. So they get another flash. Karis is in danger. Has got flash. Hasn't yet had burn it. 1 minute on the Herald, but the mid lane turret falls. And now Jackie's going to have to play very, very carefully in mid lane. Your only magic damage is Ahri, so Aatrox has got to go steel caps early. And if the Aatrox ends up on top of you as the Ashe, like, what do you do here? When you've got the Neferi and the Aatrox, and the Taliyah's going to go heading for your head, and the Poppy's going to be looking for your head, and there's a Ziggs bomb on top. I think Jackie's going to have a very difficult time staying alive here, unless Crisp is absolutely on point. And I don't know how freely Cream and Kanavi are going to be able to return the threat on the other side. We'll see. Like, the combo's there from top esports, and we've seen it. The charm, or the arrow into the charm combo, it's very, very scary. You've got 3 kills onto the Ashe, got 3 kills onto the Ahri. That's great news. And in fairness, I think Hurricane or a Phantom Dancer here for the Ashe helps. If top esports can get this Drake, life is good. Leandri's just got done for Ahri. Hurricane just got done for Jackie into a lot of melee range champions. Even the Taliyah's not that long range, so a lot of Hurricane value there still. I think Taliyah will be the biggest problem to go hard on as Ahri and the Vi. Yeah, and the Poppy W as well. Like, and the zone control from the Ziggsy. Like, there's a lot here making life quite tricky. Vampire went very deep there, though. That's half the HP bar down on the Poppy before the fight can begin. The same for Crisp. Kanavi started up the Dragon. I'm not sure whether you can afford to reset here. Mega Inferno Bomb forces a flash out of Crisp. Scary. Mega Gnar is there. Cream has rejoined. Gone for a Hexgate over. Vampire didn't get to reset. We're flipping this one, folks. Let's go. Heads or tails. WE or top esports. Smell the burgers. In they go. Neferi nabs it. Good job from Monkey. Darking Daggers gets in. They get the Keeper's Verdict out. That makes it a 4v5. Infernal Chains pulls one back. Poppy will die, but it's still them caught in the pit. Cream gets a reset over the pit. And they'll get out alive. They lose Vampire. But get the Dragon. Probably worth, I think, in the grand scheme of it from WE. Food in 3 minutes. How exciting. Just between fights as well, hopefully. Big secure from Monkey. Now, do you go Shogun or Black Cleaver this game? Let's have a look at this one. I'm assuming it's an Eviscerate Q Smite combo. Dark and Daggers have hit. The bleed's in. Yeah, down 3-2-2. Tries to read the Smite. Doesn't happen. Good combo. They pull back Cream and they think they can blow him up. But that kill onto Vampire means Cream gets an ult reset and gets out to safety. That's my food coming. Great time. No one do any fighting while I'm picking up my food, guys. Have I missed anything? Is everyone still alive? Nothing mad's happened? No shoving bot side. Cube died. Oh dear, how did Cube die? Looks like Jackie Love picked it up. Arrow. Just got one kill, they get tower. Okay. Got tower as well. Oh, pretty good then. WWE looking pretty competitive here, all things said and done this series. It's not been perfect. Top Esports been, I think, on the whole, able to fight well in this game. Now I've got to be a bit wary here as Kanavi and Cream squaring up briefly with Karis and Monkey. Still 2 items done for the Ziggs. Got 2 done for the Neferi. He's gone for the Black Cleaver second. Halving that gold lead topside is important because 369 was really falling behind there. Less of a problem now. Hooray for food. Hang on, what more are you saying? Imagine we had a caster that cared about us. Yeah, I don't. Sorry about that. Yours. What's the... Monty's being a freaking chap. As usual. 369 gets out. As usual. Precisely. When someone admits to the self bonk, you know where they're at. 20 seconds until Dragon. Top Esports in position here. Don't have that mid lane tier 1. Taeyun, gonna get very potent. Nice W there. Brent Navi finding that much value with the Vault Breaker. Gets to run away fast enough regardless. Fight for entrance to the river begins. Dragon starts. Monkey stole the last one. We can try and go in. Mega Inferno Bomb not gone away. Dragon taken because the Ahri can't do that much value. Vampire stays alive for a moment. Then Mikhail's on themselves. 369 gets a reset but will die. Monkey can now look to go back in again. Cube jumping on people with the Darkin Blade. Strikes hard, strikes home. Cube dodging away from that charm. Jackie Love looking for an angle. Infernal Chains come on down. Chris surviving. Dashing away. Hex Flash over, looking for an angle on in as Taeyun throwing out some bouncing off. They're still on vision. Needs to find a satchel on out of here probably. Will do so. Ends up being a 2-for-1 and WE come out with another dragon. Good fight. I think I hear the return of a Nymaera. Man, what a weird fight. Jackie getting punted out there was actually really significant in terms of damage. WE and TES in a very tight third game here.
Do you want to take a break or you want to
I'm gonna I'll finish it off, but I want you to take a seat while I finish this food.
I can do that, Sam. I can do that. Right, time to figure out what the hell's going on. Welcome back to, well, I say welcome back to me, really.
Yeah, well, we've just had Monkey steal 2 dragons in a row.
Oh, that's super significant, isn't it? Oh my god.
It is. And we've gotten a comp where, like, you've got Poppy, Ziggs, Talia, zone control into a dive pick comp. Jackie's hit some great arrows, but I'm still a bit worried here for TES in the mid to late stages versus a comp that can deny a lot of their engage and be quite annoying if one person gets rolling.
Yeah. However, WE, if they make a mistake in positioning, things fall apart very quickly. So while it looks even for now, one good arrow, one good vial onto Karis or Taeyun who's out of position. Maybe even Cube actually gets pushed up far enough. Maybe that can lead to something special, shall we say. But the fact that Top Esports kind of reduced to that is a huge issue. They only lost 1 series coming into this game. Now, don't get me wrong, probably haven't prepped that hard for WE compared to other teams, but going to a third game and a tense third game against the worst team in the Ascend group is below top esports expectations and our standards for them. So, not necessarily the best look ever. Top esports. Where are they on the map? Pushing up lanes. W have the tower advantage worth noting. Top esports, they can break some others. Maybe they'll give them some gold back, but hard to do that against Zig's wave clear, Talia wave clear. Cream going towards the Bruiser build. Harder to burst out, but does less damage. That might actually be quite impactful. We'll see where the Cream plays towards that. And a death cap now built to the Titan as well.
This Zig's getting very scary, honestly, at this point. And the range discrepancy can get a bit annoying here. Got Ash start stepping on forwards. There's no resists, really. Start hitting some of those bouncing ones, can be pretty scary.
I cast my eyes over towards chat, and there are people apologizing for something which happened while I wasn't here, so I'm gonna just...
Yeah, like...
I'm gonna suggest it's just not something I should look at.
Probably wise. Yeah. Monty's is being a suspicious...
Ooh, Monkey cancelled out of the Hexgate. There is a pop ult that might be able to trade for that Vital. Yes, it is, and now 369 is left alone.
Wave flash, still waves, coming.
And 369 gets that save, but what is Cube doing with the teleport? Dodges out on the charm. Cream, little inaccurate with that one. Top esports, they lose the Vial, they lose the flash of 369. They cast the arrow forwards. Is there another charm? No, because the arrow doesn't have cooldown reduction on this build. And top esports throw like 4 ults at the play, lose the flash, and get nothing for it. They get some HP bars. Is that going to open up anything on the map? No, I don't think so. Wow, it's going to get them a Scuttle Trap. That's what it's going to give them.
That's a big win, Alex. That's jungling.
I mean, it's going to give them that flash of vision. Ooh, wow. Great.
Control around the Atakan and the Baron. Ooh.
That is important. It is. Now, do WE have the globals left and the HP left to do something? Ziggs teleport to the top side of the plate to make sure they can enter through top lane rather than through the river. That does force top esports to back off a little. Now, they're stuck in not great terrain. Cream is level 16, but again, no cooldown reduction in this build, besides the boots. So his ultimate, still very long cooldown. Normally is, I think, base cooldown 80 seconds for this rank of Ariel, rank 3, but if you get Alt Hunter and you get boots, it does get down to, well, I guess with this build, I guess about 60 seconds, I'd say. Takes 100 CDR to halve your cooldowns, I'm pretty sure.
Is that what the breakpoint is?
Yeah, because it's basically, it's called, the ability haste is % extra skill shots. So if you get 100% extra skill shots, that means you're doubling your cast up time.
I'm with you.
So 100 is enough to, you know, halve your cooldowns. I think Alt Hunter gives you 30 already. I think it's 5 plus 5 per stack. So max 30. Hanging Cream needs to be a bit careful here. Just land the charm. Some damage onto Vampire. Also has the Mikhail's actually, this Vampire, to cancel out a bit of that Ash ultimate. Dragon has spawned. Top esports did lose those 2, as he said before, somehow. Some way. Oh, and there's an engage as far. He's got a tag skated across the map. Is that going to lead to the team focus WE need? Cube gets the kill, gets the reset, does get the Brawn passive onto it, but I think the damage might be done. But 369 ults back, and he slams it into the wall with an R. This is the mistake that Top Esports were waiting for. Double over to the Ori already. Another one given out to Kanavi. He returns to the scene where he'd left his team out to dry. WE tried to pounce. Charm Flash, not committed to by Cream. Top Esports get 4, and they'll head towards the top side of the map.
What insane Gnarl.
Absolutely insane. I thought that Kanavi hex-skating away would have cost them that fight, and potentially a huge amount of presence in this game. Baron will be taken, going to forgo the Atkan on the top side of the map. Tian doesn't have himself... Well, he's not going to even be in position to contest at this point. Doesn't want to walk up and someone like chase him down to top. Esports earn themselves a Baron, and I have to say it's against the run of play, it feels like. They were pushed out back on the map. Kanavi spotted going away from that, and then that was the go sign. All right, go in. They've gone. They have no jungle ahead, no Vial. Let's see what we can get. But, you know, Jackal manages to peel back. Somehow manages to survive. Well, survive long enough to get some damage down. But then, the problem is the fight just doesn't go short enough for WE. Kanavi comes back into the play. 369 gets a choke point in our ultimate, and the fight is over.
The fact it's a 3-man follow-up wallop as well is actually insane.
I have to try and position things so Sam's actually close enough to the match to get heard.
There you go, hello.
So when he sat over there eating curry, it's...
a ways away, I agree.
A little ways away. Alright, now we're going to take the dragon. The top esports. Medjo's build up for Cream. Spam those books in chat.
The book has been bought, 10 stacks on, feeling pretty good right now. There's a decent flash angle here for Vampire though. When looking to charge someone back in, it just ends up being a cannon menu. The arrow though lands onto a key target. Taeyun down to about 20% HP, gets Mikhail out to safety and will get the satchel out. That means that mid-tier 1 will now just fall. No real ability to contest.
Cream potentially had... Hang on a second. Gotta be careful of the wall stun there. Just another charm in there. Oh, he's gonna get pulled up by the W if he's not careful. Gets out with the Fox 5 movement speed. 369 takes bot turret. They take mid lane outer. And that's a Vial onto an Aetheri who obviously didn't have W. Goes down.
Nice pick off there. Suddenly, Top Esports come alive. They are up 5,000 gold. They've got Soul Point. They've got Baron. And what felt like a very competitive game now looks anything but.
As we were saying, all it takes is 1 or 2 missed positions by WE, and the follow-up is so intense from Top Esports. They have great amount of follow-up range and the ability for everyone to kind of pull that hair trigger. I mean, even the Braum can go for a flash ult with flash Q, and that can start things off powerfully. That is going to be, in the blink of an eye, double inhibitor sound.
Pretty damn potent, that's for sure. We'll go look to do some work here as we come up towards a very significant point for Top Esports. They get everything but the Atakar. And on the reset, they can maybe look for that one too. Soul Point also finally secured after 3 attempts of a turret trying it.
Kanavi hang around top side. There might be a Hex Flash over wall, but Cream should be fine there. That's a good shot. 3 damage and electrocute. Chunk down Vampire to half HP. Ooh, now he's used the W. That's the problem. Your W's gone. And the ult does nothing. Vampire put to the stake.
Into the cease and desist. Post the Born passive and down goes Talia afterwards. Defensive phalanx only works if there's actually people in the phalanx and they all die before that can really come to pieces.
Team W, they've had a good showing today. I say that as I've not been here for the grand majority of it, but they've had a good showing. They brought Top Esports to game 3, but we said it only takes a couple of mistakes for Top Esports composition to come alive, and that's exactly what's happened. Monkey now stunned up by 369, punted back into the cube from Vi, and that'll be a dead dog.
That work is fantastic. Now they're into the base. There's 2 members. No, I can't read it. It's 3 members. Doesn't really matter. It'll be game 3 win likely here for Top Esports unless Vampire and Teo can absolutely do some miracle work. Cube already at half HP. That much to work with. We've got a World Ender working. That Mega Inferno Bomb chunks out but can't get the kill.
Yeah, the shield comes up, denies that damage. Does deny you the first instance of damage that hits it. Arrow hits onto Taeun, and he'll be forced to flash away. No flashes on the carries of Team W, who just had to use both of them. Karras jumping forwards to the ultimate, misses out due to a flash on 369 on the combo. Cube looking for a teleport as well, but now he's out of swords.
The World Ender running will get cease and desisted back off cooldown, and that means that this Aatrox just stands there frozen in time for the majority of it. 369 still here with the Mega Narf. Vampire flashes away, but it means Karras has now been left out to dry, and WE tried to punish on the exit from the base, and Top Esports were more than ready for it. The Mega Inferno Bomb as a 21 gun salute, a final shot in the dark from WE, as this game will surely be ending now.
This series was not meant to be close, but we were surprised. Top Esports were surprised, and with a victory lap of picks onto Team WE, Top Esports will see out the day 2-1.
I think there'll be some questions about Top Esports after this series. Make no mistake, that was 3 games. Very, very scrappy.